Greetings, ma'am. Greetings. We're tempted when we have an interview with someone who has just been elected. Congratulations. Of course, it goes without saying, congratulations. But I'll use of another thing. Tenacity. Yes, yes, indeed. You never gave up, did you? Well, don't give up easily. That's not part of my vocabulary. And when you have passion and you have the feeling that this is an unended cause, you still have the cause, the passion to continue. And that's what it's all about. And each and every election campaign, that of 2006, I was elected in 2004, but in 2006 I felt that people were saying a little bit of a goodbye because people were saying that they didn't want to vote for the Liberal Party. Well, in 2008, I felt the love of the people of Gatineau that were coming to me, because we went from the 4th place to the 2nd place, very close to winning that year. So we felt that there was something happening, and there you go. It ended up with this marvelous result. I'm going to remember this for a long time. It was fantastic as a result. We're very proud of this. Now, to work for the New Democratic Party for all those months. Are you paid? No, I'm asking you. No. Oh, no, this is a volunteer. When the leader asked me in 2008 after the election, he didn't want to leave me go. And he said, Françoise, we'd like you to take the presidency of the Quebec area. You had worked in the field for a long time. Since his leadership, after all, he's born in Quebec, he knew Quebecers. And there's a relationship between love and Quebecers and Jack Layton. It's phenomenal, and I saw that in the field in 2008. So when he told me, while we're in the House of Commons, would you like to continue the work of bringing up the various organizations in the field, to have an organization that's very active so that people here tell about us, and not just during election campaigns. I had a fantastic team. Whether it be with respect to the board, my executive, and I'm happy because in many of the newly elected MPs, and God only knows we have a lot of newcomers for the New Democratic Party, a majority were members of the section with me as administrators or members of the executive. Alban Boudres, for example, one was a vice chair in communication, one was a vice chair in finances. So you see, there was an awful lot of work done in the field. And all these people, volunteers, nobody was paid. We had a staff in Montreal that was assigned to giving us support, to help us administratively, but the majority of people were these people that were passionate with politics, just like I am. Now, when people say of these newcomers that they are neophytes, what do you answer? Well, I say we all were one day, and I give the example. When I began as a lawyer, I was very young, and I thank the associate that was with me at the time who believed in youth and who said that if you want to learn and to become a good lawyer, we have to send you out. I was not even called to the bar then, and he came with me. He drove me to Montreal, and he said, okay, you're going to argue this case. That's how we learn. We also learn that we have young people. We have one 19 years old, Pierre-Luc Dessureau. The media are going to love him. I saw him give interviews in the past few days. He's very calm and relaxed. By the same token, I say that we blame young people for not getting interested in politics. The New Democratic Party was successful in having them interested in politics instead of being just photo ops. You're surrounded by young people and it looks good in a picture shot, but we interested them in every level of the party. You should have seen the young people when they saw one of these interviews this past week, see how calm he was. And questions, after all, were asked that were kind of paternalistic, but, I mean, they were okay. I probably would have answered quite abruptly, but he remained very Olympic calm. We have a lot of young people like that joining our team. We have a lot of people who really have experience and who will be surrounded. I believe in the mentoring system. I'm not worried. Jack Layton is leading us all. That's what Quebecers wanted to see in any event. Something new, something different. I mean, imagine for a moment. In the House of Commons, you're going to look at the camera. The CPAC cameras are going to be on the Conservative government, an awful lot of gray heads, and then you're going to look at the New Democratic Party and you'll see this youth. It's experience alongside of energy, dynamism, new ideas. It's going to be fantastic. Majority conservative government. I never knew that. Majority, yeah, majority. Now, will the New Democratic Party, because people are wondering, will the NDP do something to keep that government at bay? Well, the Conservative government can decide that it's their way of doing things and nothing else, and they have the numbers to prove all this. Now, in committees, they're going to have the majority, a little bit everywhere. But do you think I'm going to let the Conservatives do as they see fit? If they aren't ready to listen to us, we'll be the first one to decry this, and we're going to be the first ones to say publicly that we have to get this support. I think that the Prime Minister is not a fool. I listened to his speech on election day, and it was a much more relaxed speech. He wasn't gloating about anything by saying, gee, are we ever anxious to impose our agenda? No, we understood. He knows what his weakness is in Quebec, and there's not a single government that can decide to operate without listening to Quebecers. And Quebecers are going to speak through us, and we're definitely going to be there to fight for the interests of Quebec. But this time, it's a Federalist Party fighting for Quebec interests, and we're going to fight for them very seriously. So I think there's a lot of work to be done. I saw that in 2004 and 2006. There are a lot of negotiations, of discussions that took place. So even them, I mean, they don't want to have difficulty. There are procedural tools we can use during Parliament sitting. So, yes, it's a majority party, but they weren't always going to be squabbling with the opposition. But it's the first time that they're going to be facing one great opposition party. Tonight's evening will be going on in a few minutes. The government will be dealing with the young people coming and their knowledge. As a matter of fact, that's the question we're asking to our viewers. Should we require a minimum amount of knowledge to be an MP? What would you answer to that question? Well, it depends on what constituency you are. You go to Ottawa to represent people in your constituency. I'm going to represent people of Gatineau. Indeed, it's much more preferable to have people that know what's at stake. But it won't be the first time. There are ministers who don't even live in their constituency. So, you know, there's a different types of work to be done at that level. What exactly is the robot picture of an MP? I don't think there is anything. I don't think there's a task description. There are people that are very strong in certain things and others very strong in communications or others in the field. So it's a blend of all this. And that's what political parties bring when they come to Ottawa. It's that blend. But I can tell you, for having seen many of them, and we won't go through listing them, you'll see that as related to some of our young people, I'm fully confident that they will perform when others have been there 20 years, 25 years, and we don't even remember their names. We don't even remember who they represented, from whence they came. So I'm telling everybody since the beginning of the week, give them a chance. Let them prove their mettle. They're going to be facing MPs, of course, but what I liked, all the young people that were elected in the New Democratic Party have taken the commitment to, at least the majority to whom I spoke, to live in the part where they were elected, to be aware of the issues, to be there, to be the link between the needs of their constituents and parliamentary work in Ottawa. So I'm saying, I mean, they're young, they're enthusiastic, they're going to shake us up. You don't think that tomorrow morning there will be a test that should be passed, and if they don't pass the test, no. No, but even those who are who have a good background, a good CV, nothing prepares for parliamentary life in Ottawa. I can tell you right off the bat. The only advice I can give to all these newly elected MPs, young or old, because I told the media, you know, what's happening through them, even the older MP, is not necessarily ready for this. Maybe you were a lawyer, maybe you understood a little bit more the legal aspects of the duties, but you weren't necessarily prepared for debate, for procedural issues, for the media. all this request, issues like immigration. There's no robot portrait for this. You have to have your heart in the right place and say, take one day at a time, and it's not true because you're the New Democratic Party that we have to settle everything in the first month when some even failed after 13 years. Let's take a deep breath and say we're going to represent those who voted for us. Well, it'd be nice to see you on a regular basis at CPAC. You've lost nothing about your passion. No, I've lost nothing. Thanks so much, Françoise.